Hello, welcome to gusmcdoll Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. In this series, we play through the 16 operations of the German Grant campaign in Close Combat 3, the Russian front. Please remember to subscribe, comment, share, and like the video. And if you want to show your support with a donation, the links are in the description. It is day 1 of 6 on Operation 15 of 16. Operational briefing. German Hermann Goring attacks, August 2, 1944. The fate of the Wehrmacht depends on you. Your objective is to capture the bridge over the Vistula River at Magnesev. Doing so will halt the Soviet advance westward. Expect the enemy's 8th Guards Army to battle fiercely to hold Mariampol so the 1st Polish Army can move up from Magnesev to bolster the Bolshevist defences. The hills, forests and marshes may slow your progress, but you must overcome these obstacles to push the enemy back across the Vistula. Do not be swayed from your objective. The fate of Warsaw hangs in the balance. Battle briefing. Hermann Goring attacks, holding back the tide. The time has come to drive the Bolshevists out of Mariampol. Your objective is to counterattack and continue attacking until you drive the enemy back across the Vistula River. Your command is now attached to the Hermann Goring Panzer Division. Build your fighting force on armour drawn from the division. Adding mobile firepower, half-tracks with anti-tank or infantry guns, or mortars will help you find and destroy any enemy armour or anti-tank guns. Make sure one of the half-tracks includes a subordinate commander. Driving through on the north or south flank might work, as will a frontal assault if carried out with determination. Enough teams will get through to finish off any enemy resistance, especially if you use the half-tracks for suppression or to hold down some part of the enemy's forces. A successful counterattack means a last chance to turn the tide. We start the operation with the same forces from the last battle. Von McDowell, Command Panzer 5G. Group Leader, Commando Behorden 1943. Heavy Infantry, Fallschirmjäger Sturmgrenadier 1943. Heavy Infantry, Sturmgrenadier 1943. Heavy Infantry, Sturmgrenadier 1943. Heavy Tank Destroyer, Ferdinand Sonderkraftfahrzeug 184-1. Medium Tank, Panzer 5G, Panther G. Heavy Tank, Panzer 6E, Tiger 1. Armoured Car, Puma Sonderkraftfahrzeug 234-2. Armoured Car, Puma Sonderkraftfahrzeug 234-2. Heavy Anti-Tank Gun, 8.8cm Flak 36. Gun Crew for the 2nd Heavy Anti-Tank Gun, 8.8cm Flak 36. Medium Mortar 8cm Granatwerfer. Heavy Machine Gun, Schweres Maschinengewehr 42, 1943. And a 2nd Heavy Machine Gun. A new operation, so we once again start with only 50 requisition points. Unfortunately, this is still not enough to replace the 8.8cm Flak 36. I could get a Pak 43. But it only has a crew of 4, and I would give up 3 members of the Kampf group. So I will wait until next time. Let's see what else is available. Here we go. I can upgrade the Ferdinand to an Elephant for only 3 points. Let's take a look. Heavy Tank Destroyer, Elephant, Sonderkraftfahrzeug 184-2. Use this turretless anti-tank gun against any enemy tank. This Heavy Tank Destroyer has excellent firepower and thick armour, but limited mobility. No turret means the Elephant must turn to swing its 8.8cm main gun more than 10 degrees. The Elephant is equipped with Bau MG34, 8.8cm L71 cannon, anti-air MG34, 6 Walther P38 pistols for the crew, Again, we can upgrade the Tiger 1 to a King Tiger, but do not have enough points. Let's replace casualties on the 8.8cm anti-tank gun. And that is Kampfgruppe McDowell. Let's examine the terrain and develop a plan. Nestled between hills to the west and woods to the east, the town of Mariampol lies on a key crossroads. The town is oriented along the north-south road. Not to be confused with the larger town in Lithuania, Mariampol is west of the Vistula and southwest of Magnesev. I've marked 6 areas. Number 1, Hill 239. This north-south ridgeline lies west of Mariampol and overlooks most of the town and some of the area beyond. Great for observation, the ridgeline has no concealment and is also visible from multiple points within the town. The reverse slope provides terrain shielding from Mariampol, and the crops west of Hill 239 offer some concealment to infantry. Number 2, the southern spur. The road from Brzoza to Mariampol moves through a depression between Hill 239 and the southern spur. The spur overlooks the surrounding area, providing excellent observation over the fields to the edge of town. However, like Hill 239, the spur offers no concealment, and anything on the spur is visible from many points in town. Number 3, Mariampol. This part of town consists of a clump of single-storey wooden buildings arranged along a north-south road. Each building provides cover to infantry as well as concealment to tanks and other vehicles. The fields and crops between the ridge and Mariampol provide a partially concealed approach for infantry. Number 4, the crossroads. The single-storey wooden buildings are interspersed with 3 two-storey buildings. These buildings provide enhanced observation and would serve well as machine gun nests, anchoring a defensive position. The woods immediately west of the crossroads offer a partially concealed approach for infantry. Otherwise, the approaches over open fields are easily covered by observation and fire. Number 5, Grabnovola, south of the crossroads. Again, single-storey wooden buildings arranged in linear pattern along the north-south road. The most prominent building in this area is the 2-storey wooden church. Either side of Grabnovola are open fields easily covered by fire from the buildings and the woods to the east. And number 6, the road to Studzianki. This narrow track with woods either side is the main road to Magnesev. The woods offer concealment to infantry as well as tanks that can emerge anywhere along the tree line. Key terrain includes Hill 239, the southern spur, the church at Grabnovola, and the tree line to the east. The crossroads are decisive terrain as they control north-south and east-west movement. We are up against the 8th Guards Army, and they are sure to bring lots of tanks. One possibility is that the Russians could spread their defence along the town, with an infantry platoon in each of Mariampol in the north, the crossroads in the middle, and Grabnovola in the south. These forces could cover the open fields with machine gun and rifle fire, with 1 or more mortars in support. Tanks and self-propelled guns could use the woods to the east as concealment, popping out to engage targets on Hill 239 and the southern spur, and counterattacking as necessary. This approach would make it difficult for the Germans to attack the town across the open fields. However, being strong everywhere means being strong nowhere. Specifically, forces spread out in each of the sectors would have limited ability to support one another and could be defeated in detail. Alternatively, the Soviets might consolidate their defence, for example, on the crossroads. Each of the 2-storey buildings could house a machine gun nest covering the open fields. These machine gun nests could also provide each other with mutual support. Other infantry squads could occupy the houses between these positions. Soviet armour could lurk behind the buildings, safe from observation and direct fire from Hill 239 and the southern spur. Tanks and SP guns could selectively reveal themselves to attack German supporting fires. Also, Soviet armour could move rapidly to counterattack any German tank forces moving into Mariampol. With German supporting fires suppressed, and the approaches to the town covered by machine gun and mortar fire, the Soviets could easily retain Mariampol. One option for the Germans is to slug it out with Soviet armour in a tank duel. German tanks, the self-propelled gun and the anti-tank gun, would sit on the bare ridgeline and mass fires against any Soviet tanks or infantry positions in or beyond the town. One by one, the Germans would pick off Soviet tanks. The infantry, with machine guns on the flanks and Puma for anti-tank defence, would remain terrain shielded west of Hill 239 and concealed amongst the crops. Once the Soviet tanks were destroyed, this would set the conditions for an infantry advance into the town, or the Soviets could simply flee, as they've done before. The advantage of this approach is that it masses fires against the Soviets without exposing the infantry until the tank duel is over. The disadvantage is that the Soviet 8th Guards Army will bring lots of tanks, and the German positions are exposed to observation and fire from multiple concealed positions in the town. In other words, the Soviets will maintain the initiative throughout, and we cannot guarantee the Germans will win the tank duel. So instead, the Germans will mass their forces for an attack to seize the initiative. It would be wise to avoid a frontal assault on the crossroads where the enemy might be strongest. Instead, an attack could be mounted against the extremities, either against Grabnovola in the south or against Mariampol in the north. An attack against Mariampol makes more sense because the trees and crops offer some concealment to infantry in the advance. So, the majority of the Kampfgruppe will mass immediately opposite Mariampol. The infantry will conduct a platoon attack across the open fields. The two MG42 will cover the right flank with machine gun fire. The Granatwerfer will fire a smoke mission to screen the attack, then switch to high explosive and fire in depth within Mariampol to suppress the defenders. The Panzers and the Elephant will sit on the ridgeline, massing fires against Soviet tanks or infantry positions while the attack goes in. The attack in the north might force the Soviets to reposition their tanks and other forces, leaving concealed positions and moving in the open. So, the 8.8 cm anti-tank gun will be positioned on the southern spur, firing in enfilade. This will present the Soviets with a targeting dilemma: where to shoot. The two Puma will remain on the reverse slope of the southern spur in case the Soviets attack the 8.8 cm anti-tank gun with infantry. Mariampol is Objective 1. Once taken, the Kampfgruppe will consolidate, then orient south and take the crossroads, Objective 2, and Grabnovola, Objective 3. With the town and crossroads in German hands, the Hermann Goring division can counterattack and push the Soviets back to the Vistula River. Town and street fighting. When it is necessary to make a direct assault, the Germans concentrate all available heavy weapons, including artillery and air units, on one target. Tanks and assault guns accompany the infantry and with their fire immobilize any new enemy forces which may appear. Despite the local success at Magnesev, the Germans were pushed back and the Soviets established a bridgehead over the Vistula. The Hermann Goring division is now leading a counterattack to destroy the bridgehead. First objective, the town of Mariampol. Von McDowell recalls stopping in this town a few days ago during the withdrawal. Dirt roads, small wooden buildings. To the east, open fields extend to a heavily wooded tree line beyond. At the time, it had seemed like excellent defensive terrain, but now he must attack. I have now moved my troops into position and will execute the plan in real time. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the various courses of action and if you have identified a viable alternative. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more great strategy and tactics content. And so we begin. Achtung Panzer! A Soviet tank in the woods east of the crossroads. The Granatwerfer readies a smoke mission. Another tank, a captured Panzer IV-F2, and infantry in the open. The 4F2 is knocked out. Another tank, an Su-85, and the Su-122. The Su-85 is knocked out.
Не высовываться! Ложись!
Another tank in the woods to the east.
Спасайся, кто может!
Hit! The JS2 is destroyed and starts to burn. Incoming Soviet artillery on the MG42 positions. They go to ground. The smoke screen is starting to build, and the infantry move out.
Противник предложил прекращение огня!
Smoke screen effective, the Granatwerfer drops remaining smoke rounds in Mariampol to disrupt the defence. Then switches to high explosive.
Stellungswechsel ausgeführt. Спасайся, кто может!
The Soviet crew abandons the Su-122. In the north, the entire infantry platoon moves across the crops towards Mariampol. The Soviets are firing at the 8.8cm anti-tank gun. The JS2 cooks off. Russian infantry in the first line of buildings. German armour opens up. And the Granatwerfer. And Kleese's squad. And Schedel. And Altrichter. Achtung Panzer! Su-152. Kleese's squad crawls up to conduct the break-in. Knock's squad pushes into depth on the left flank. The Granatwerfer shifts fire into the Russian depth positions. Russian artillery, and Knock is killed. and Staudenmeier. Minor victory. The battle ended because the Russians fled the battlefield. The Germans gained control of the area and will advance. German losses were 2 killed, both to Russian artillery. Russian losses were 3 killed, 5 wounded, 6 prisoners, 3 armoured vehicles destroyed, and 1 captured. Let's examine the Kampfgruppe. Unteroffizier Bryn in Zeltmann's Panther G is awarded the Iron Cross Second Class. Gefreiter Schladitz in Baumann's 8.8 cm gun is also awarded the Iron Cross Second Class. Unterfeldwebel Feutinger and Unteroffizier von Wittke share credit for a tank kill. Unteroffizier Bryn in Zeltmann's Panther G is credited with another tank kill. And Gefreiter Schladitz is credited with the 3rd tank kill. Also, Baumann is promoted to Major, in recognition of leading his team to 20 tank kills, including 14 credited to him personally. Some improvements in morale, leadership and experience across the Kampfgruppe. However, Russian artillery led to casualties in the Fallschirmjäger Sturmgrenadier. Obergefreiter Nock is killed, and Staudenmeier. Gefreiter Hasselhoff will take over the squad, but the tall and charismatic Nock will be missed by his paratroop squad and the entire Kampfgruppe. So, what did we learn? Once again, concentration of force paid dividends. Tanks and assault guns accompanied the infantry, and the Germans concentrated all available heavy weapons on one target at a time. This enabled them to eventually win the tank duel, which was otherwise looking very dicey. The smokescreen was effective, and the defending Russian infantry was soon suppressed by heavy rifle, machine gun, and mortar fire. However, I did not use the supporting MG42 as well as I could. I should have assigned them a primary task of suppressing the possible machine gun nests in the 2-story buildings at the crossroads. I was merely fortunate that there were no machine gun nests, as they could have torn into the right flank of my infantry assault and caused many more than 2 casualties. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.